It's James here, and welcome to another episode of Thinking Out Loud. I think I'm on episode 2, I believe. Um, Over the last 6 months, and more in particular when I got back from Seoul and Hong Kong, one thing has been on my mind, and basically it's, do I like my job? In general, I don't hate or dislike my job, but I am also not super thrilled or love my job either. In general, my job pays very well, and I don't think much of it. But over the last 6 months, and as I said, in particular, since I got back from my trip, I've been asking that question a lot, and I can safely say I'm really not enjoying it anymore. I'm not very passionate about it, and it really shows. I've been in retail for about 20 years now. I've worked as a seasonal part-timer. I've worked my way up to where I am now, a store manager, and I've always didn't really mind the work. I always got along with fellow coworkers, associates. I worked with great managers. I learned a lot, but over the years, many factors contributed to how I feel now, and one being customers are getting worse. Every year they get worse and worse, and I'm sorry to say this, but people kind of suck, and it's only going to get worse. But there are occasions where I encounter some amazing customers, and it's just great, but those are rare these days, honestly. Another factor I would say that affected my mood in general is the cost of living in Canada. We all know how horrible it is. Buying groceries is just ridiculous. Seeing the price of chicken is just depressing. And it didn't help the fact that when I was over in Korea and in Hong Kong, seeing the prices of groceries really was an eye-opener. And the cost of living, I can actually say, is cheaper over in Asia, where, necessarily back then it was more equalized, but it's just way cheaper. I guess maybe apartments and housing the pricing is similar actually, or even more, but I'm saving so much money by buying groceries and like public transit and not having a car. It just, in general, I think it's cheaper. So that's also contributed to the fact that maybe I'm not doing the right job. And before anyone says, oh, then if you don't like your job, then just quit. It's easier said than done. I don't have like the privilege or the savings in general to just quit my job and just try to look for my next career or what I'm passionate about, because as I mentioned, the cost of living in Canada is just ridiculous. I can't take that risk. I'm not a risk taker. You can call me like pathetic for that, but I'm not going to jump into not having a job, trying to find something while battling the finances of living in Canada. That's just not in the cards. So of course I'm going to be looking actively. In fact, I've been looking actively not just within Canada, but I've been looking overseas as well. Because, believe it or not, I think I am still young enough to have a fresh start in a different country. Maybe I can go back to Hong Kong or even try Korea, because I just fell in love with both those places while I was visiting. And it could be many opportunities. But, I'll take my time, because as I said, my job pays really well. I may not be passionate about it anymore, but it pays well and I can, safely save some money. In general, I don't know what I'm looking for. It could be a job where I'm passionate about. Like, I really love video editing and filming videos and stuff, but I don't know if I can see that as a career, because it's more like a hobby. What if I take it on as a full-time career, but then start hating it? So these thoughts do enter my mind quite a lot, but I'm, open to the idea of trying to edit full-time, but trying to find work is very interesting. And another reason why I can't just up and quit my current job right now is the job market is just horrible. No one in Canada is really hiring. It's just not the correct great state. But, many factors can contribute to me quitting. As I said, the company I work for is going downhill ever since summertime. I honestly believe it's because new people got promoted to power and they don't hold the same values as the company had at the beginning. I can see those values going out the window. And that's not why I stick with this company. Because in general, you don't stay in a retail business or company for very long. I've stayed with this company for 5 years now. And I can see the decline and it's painful. But yeah, I can really confidently say I'm not happy with my job. I don't hate it, I don't dislike it, but I'm just not happy. And maybe a change of scenery, maybe a new career might perk my mood, because I can sense my mood slowly drifting. And, you know, what can you do sometimes, right? But yeah, that's been on my mind the last 6 months, and I think it's going to be on my mind for probably until I probably find another job. But yeah, thanks for joining me for another episode of Thinking Out Loud. I'll see you guys next time.